All right, we are back, brother. What's going on, man? Welcome back to the pods. Good to see you. New lighting.
I'm back. The light is shining on me again. I'm
Yeah,
blessed.
man. Yeah, look, guys. Before we get started, make sure you like the video, comment down below, and please subscribe to the Current Era Pod. And as Monty said, share if you're feeling frisky. Now, NBA playoffs are here. We are a little late on the video, but it may actually work out that way because we've got some injuries. We've got some interesting series. So yeah, man, let's get right into it. Well, I guess I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we get into people who are actually in the playoffs, I do want to talk about a few teams that did not make it. These have to be like the most disappointing teams of the season, in my opinion. But let's start with the Phoenix Suns, who are like, they are in trouble. They are in trouble. Please give me your thoughts as these guys were not even good enough to make the 10th seed in the play-in. So, unleash.
It's one thing to have a shitty season, right? I mean, it happens. But the hard part for them is that they don't really have any avenues to get better. You know, they traded all their picks. Their stars are old aside from Devin Booker. But Devin Booker, they tried it before. He by himself, he's not really well. As the top star, his team did go to the finals. But I give Chris Paul more credit for that than Devin Booker, really.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really been able to lead his team, is what I'm trying to get to. But he's pretty much in his prime. It sounds like he wants to stick around. So if the Suns can still try to use him as the focal point going forward, but if I was them, I would just blow it up and trade everybody and just start over, try to get some picks. Because where's Devin Booker going to lead you? and what are you? First of all, what are you going to get? Okay, if you blow up the Suns, what are you going? You pretty much have to trade KD, right? Because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. Maybe in the offseason he'll be more willing to accept the trade, but right now you're working with the premise that KD is really your only big chip, unless you also trade Booker. Trading KD, he's going to be 37 when this next season starts. Kind of pretty much injury prone. Like, what can you really get for him? How much is his value?
I still feel like teams will swing for the fences when it comes to Kevin Durant. And
it's got to be a playoff team, right? Like,
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, like the name that keeps coming up is Houston, and the reason why I don't love that is because even though I do think Houston, obviously, they have young talent. They have contracts that could make it work. I just think that Houston is already young and they have really good players that they can like stay with and grow with, kind of like how the Warriors did. Now, do they have an all-time player like a Stephen Curry? No, I don't think so. But I mean, Ahmed Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. and Jalen Green, like these are Sengun, like these are all like really young guys who haven't even touched their prime. So I just don't love shipping them out for a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. But what do you think about that?
Well, they might have to ship all those guys out because, again, KD's value. And really, when it comes to it, the Suns may just want draft picks, really, So, and the Rockets do have a lot of draft picks. In fact, I believe they have the Suns pick from, a couple of those different trades over the years. So, they may just be okay with taking like Jalen Green and some picks, Jalen Green, Tari Eason and some picks. They might not try to get like the whole Coot and Cabato, everything just because.
Okay.
We'll see what the market looks like, but I don't really see. I can see the Knicks trying to get in there, but what are they going to? What do they have that's appealing to the Suns again? Because they need either guys who are, look like they're going to be stars on rookie contracts or draft picks. They don't really need someone who's already under a max contract. And maybe they do. Maybe they feel like they just need to pair somebody with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, but that type of player will probably be a big, right? So,
right.
What, Nick's going to trade Karl Towns for KD? I mean, that's a maybe. I don't know, but what
crazier
else really
trades have happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to really predict right now. It's probably going to be predicated on the playoffs and who flames out early, who has a disappointing playoffs, and which general managers are one move away from getting fired. Dallas Mavs. I don't know what they can do either. It does feel like the Mavericks, they pretty much have to do something, right? Like, I don't think they're on the run sheet, but
they are.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're kind of in a alarm 10 depressing state as well because their brand, their fan base,
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as those other teams, I mean, the Sixers, what can you do? Everybody got hurt. I mean, at least they secure top 5 stand in the tank standing. So I think if it's over 6, their pick goes to the Thunder.
The Thunder, yeah.
So they have secured their spot. They got to hope
Hopefully.
2 teams don't jump them, right? So
Yeah.
I think assuming they get a lottery pick, they should be okay. They do have some questions to face as far as like what to do with Joel Embiid long term and stuff like that. But
they extended him last year, so
well, I mean, yeah, he's under contract, but that doesn't, they may still try to get rid of
to
that
move
contract.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody is willing. And then the Pelicans, yeah, I mean, that's only if you have high expectations for the Pelicans.
I did, man. Look, I mean, but I was assuming everybody was going to be healthy.
Or what?
No, I mean, like as a talent, Zion Williamson, when he is healthy, is great. But it is so hard to defend this guy because he's never healthy. Like he's never healthy. Like I mean, you can pencil in he's going to miss 25 to 30 games a year. And that might even be generous. Like
I think this year he was mostly healthy, right? It's like
he wasn't. No,
earlier in the year, yeah. No, I think he had a hammy thing, but he was playing well for a stretch. But they just was so deep in the standings. I think they just decided to tank the last 25 games. So
fine, I can accept that because I do think that is true. Like from like March 1st until the end of the season, they were completely tanking. And Zion, I don't think he played a single game. Like seriously,
right?
But earlier in the season when he was dealing with the hammy and all that, yeah. One note I do want to say about the Philadelphia 76ers, they gave Paul George $40 million a year last offseason.
Yeah.
And that did not look great. Now, he got hurt in the preseason and he was dealing with it all year, taking literal injections to play through that pain. So I do empathize with his situation. And somebody like Tyrese Maxey, I think that just like what we talked about with the Pelicans, the Sixers were doing the same thing with Maxey. Because I feel like he was healthy for like the last month of the season. They were just like, that's okay.
just rest it a little longer. Let's reevaluate in a week or two.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
It was 3 weeks left in the season. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah. Look, okay, so I mean, I say all that to say I don't completely blame Zion or the Pelicans. I don't completely blame Embiid and the Sixers because both of them are just devastated with the injuries. I mean, I think DeJounte Murray got hurt in literally the first game towards Achilles. Trey Murphy gets hurt. Herb Jones gets hurt. Jose Alvarado was in and out. It was just like, man.
Murray was around like at least a month or two, but yeah, it was early in the season.
Okay. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the play-in very quickly. We can just touch on it. The play-in, to me, there was really no surprise here. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks because I do think it's interesting that poor AD, man. all the memes when AD got hurt and like the camera just immediately showed Nico Harrison. Man, I felt so bad for AD. I really did.
He still played through it though, didn't he?
No, he was out. But I mean, they were down by 15 or 20 points. I mean, okay, so he got initially hurt and then he tried to come back and play through it, but he just couldn't. Like he literally just could not fight through it. So yeah. What do you think about the Mavs and their offseason? Because, they're going to have Kyrie maybe in January, but it's probably still going to take him from January till April to be healthy enough. So what do you think about their chances? Or
pull the plug
this
man.
summer.
Pull the plug.
Pull the plug already?
It is a disaster, bro. If once you fire Nico, because you pretty much have to. Like I think
you do too, unfortunately.
So even if he's kind of taking the arrows from the owner said he's not paying Luka. I don't know if this came from the owner or if it came from Luka. It came from Nico. But either way,
you talk about all of the mini press conferences that Nico Harrison has done, where he's just saying these insane things, that's one of them.
Yeah, I don't. The worst was he can't recover from coming like saying I knew Luka was important, but I had no idea he was this important to the city and the fan base. It's like, bro,
that's insane.
That's suicide. That's career suicide. Like you cannot say that after this. Like if you make that move, you got to stand on it. And just be like, even though everybody knows it's wrong, you got to be like, nope. Like I'm gonna prove you right. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like AD is gonna lead us to a championship. Luka sucks. Blah blah blah. He's gonna get hurt. You know, he basically you just got to be a troll and stand on it. Like, there's no way you can just be like, oh man, I might have made a mistake here. like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to pull the plug. I could see AD just be like, I don't want to be here. Like, the fans hate me. Like, just trade me. Like I can see that happening. Because Kyrie, I don't think he's coming back until like what, best case January, February, like midway through the season next year. Yeah. And then, you know, he's got to work his way back to shape. It's just, you know, AD is looking like he's got a daunting task ahead of him. They're kind of expecting him to lead the team and keep them afloat, not get hurt, and probably have a better record than the Lakers. Mm-hmm. You know, unless they could land KD or do some kind of huge swing for a trade, I think they need to just rip the Band-Aid off and blow it up, start over, because I think the Maverick fans don't want anything to do with, you know, basically this team right now. And you kind of got to start over from scratch.
That is like such a hard pill to swallow if I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, to say, like, in January, your savior was coming back. Like
y'all was just in the finals last year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And now we're talking about it's time to pull the plug, which I don't know if I 100% agree with that. I understand, but I feel like Kyrie and AD kind of owe it to the Mavs fans to at least try. Not saying that they're going to succeed, but I think that they should at least try to run it out there and see what they can do. But yeah, Nico Harrison has to go. I'm surprised that it hasn't happened yet, but you know, I'm sure we'll get it after the Lakers win the finals. So
I feel bad for the guy. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. It must have really been like something personal,
man.
Yeah, between him and Luka, or Luka and the owner. Luka calling him a bitch, or like, you know, basically. Like, it must have just been something where Nico was like, "Oh hell no! Like, I can't, I ain't standing for that," and like some pride thing got the best of him.
Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings, because this is another team I just have no idea what they're doing. They traded away Tyrese Halliburton, they traded away De'Aaron Fox, and now Domantas Sabonis is out in the play-in again, crying that they need a point guard. Buddy, you had two. Like, they fired Mike Brown after giving him Coach of the Year. And yeah, but what are the Kings like? They brought in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine as if
running it back
the answer.
The play-in Bulls days. Yeah. Like, those
are... What are they doing, bro? The Kings are just mediocre franchise. Any thoughts?
I don't know. I think they've always just been content with trying to make the playoffs. Basically, that's kind of their MO. And, you know, they weren't that far off, but man,
they were kind of far
to be right there. Well, what they would, you know, they kind of got a little hot towards the end of the season, then fell off the last week or two. But they had a shot to fight for like upper play-in territory instead of 9-10. But man, it's crazy. It felt like their turnaround just happened like a year or two ago. Like, Mike Brown was just coach of the year, like what, last year or the year before?
2 years ago now. Yeah, they were the second seed.
Games?
Yeah, I was just like,
boy, life come at you fast in the NBA, man.
Yeah, it does.
We're talking about the Mavericks, the Kings. Who else? The Sixers just fell off quick. Like, the Hawks, the Suns. Boy, you only have like a 2-3 year window in the league for most teams.
The Hawks are interesting because another team that lost maybe their best player in Jalen Johnson in January to his torn rotator cuff, I believe. Now, obviously, Trae Young is still the franchise guy, but he's up for an extension, and the Hawks just fired Danny Ferry, Landry Fields.
Landry Fields, yeah.
The GM. And I don't know, man. I agree. But I think that means that they're ready to move on from Trae. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that think that Trae Young doesn't have a trade market. And to me, that just doesn't really make sense. I mean, we just saw Luka Doncic get traded. Now, obviously, like I'm not comparing. Like, obviously, Luka would have had an insane trade value if, you know, Nico Harrison was like, "Hey, I want to trade Luka."
That's not a great example.
My point is that insane things happen all the time. There are teams that absolutely want Trae Young and that are willing to give up a ridiculous price for him. So,
like who? Give me 3 teams that Trae Young will fit on.
I think
Because
the
before this
Orlando.
season, I would have said this. I would expect the Spurs was like a good spot for him, but since they got
I Yeah, well, they have Fox now,
Fox,
but
yeah,
I think Orlando is a really good landing spot for Trey. I think Orlando should really be aggressive in doing whatever they can to get him because they really need like a scoring and facilitating guard, and they have like the perfect team to kind of back up his weaknesses on defense.
I can see that.
I think another team. This is gonna sound crazy, but like the Pels, if they're going to keep Zion and DeJounte Murray is going to be sidelined, Trey and Zion together would be a nasty combo. And CJ McCollum, like, what the fuck is he doing?
Who from the Pelicans is appealing to the Hawks though?
I think the Hawks
Outside of
would
Zion.
just. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Hawks would just want like maybe Trey Murphy and draft capital, but I don't know what the Pelicans have.
Let's see,
Because to me,
are...
the Hawks need to get younger. They need to get draft capital, and they need to go and attack the NBA draft.
Fourth pick Pelicans. Would they trade their fourth pick if they got fourth or fifth pick for Trey Young, or is that too much?
I would, I would, but like to me, I would have to go to Zion and be like, look, Zion, do you want to play with this guy? Like, can you see yourself playing with Trey Young? And he should be able to. Somebody that's going to give him endless lobs. I mean, like this would be John Collins on steroids. Like, but you know, the problem is Zion going to play, 65 games or not? Which history says he won't. So
they got a new GM too, and he finds
shout out to Joe
Zion
Dumars.
Yeah, so he might be shipping him out of there.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the actual NBA playoffs.
Real quick. The play-in was so bad this year, right? Really, the only game worthwhile was the Warriors and Grizzlies, right? Man, like, should we is the play-in still here to stay? Is it worthwhile? I mean, like, without the Lakers in the play-in, it's just loses its pizzazz.
I don't know, man. I think ultimately it still serves a good purpose because we don't want so many teams tanking. Especially when there's a juicy Cooper flag in the draft, like we just don't want that.
It has been great for the regular season. Teams trying to avoid the play-in or inch into the play-in. That's been good.
I mean, and look, the Lakers were from the play-in to the Western Conference Finals. The Miami Heat were from the play-in to the NBA Finals. So, like, I don't think that. I mean, even though this year's wasn't that exciting, I think the play-in is inherently still a good thing, and I want it around. I personally do.
Even if you're 10 games under 500, like who is that?
The Bulls probably, or
the Bulls. Well, no, they cleaned it up a little bit, but for a while it was really ugly in the play-in in the East. But I'll leave it at that, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, what if the Bulls, the Magic, the Hawks, and the Heat were all just like, okay, all of our stars are not playing. Trey Young, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Paolo, like you're not playing anymore. We want Cooper Flag. That's terrible for the league. Absolutely terrible.
Half the league tanking.
We seen it happen. Like, which is why the play-in is here. So, we do not want to go back to that. NBA playoffs, man, it's here. We're about 3 games into almost every series at this point. So we should have a pretty good sense of where we are. I think I want to start in Memphis. This is, they just played Game 3. Against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, I mean, I never gave the Grizzlies any chance of winning this series, like literally at all. I actually picked the Thunder in 4, but John Morant in the last game goes down, devastating hip injury. It looks like he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. I have been on the it's time to trade John Morant train for a while. I know that there are some people out there that don't want to hear that. But I think it's time, unfortunately, because the Grizzlies are going nowhere. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., like this core that they have, I just don't see it as a championship competing core. And they've had about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years to kind of prove me wrong, and they have not done that. So, give me your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies. And the Oklahoma City Thunder in this series. I mean, I know there's not really much to say from the Thunder side. They're just a better team, but give me your thoughts on this series so far.
Yeah, the Thunder are just deep, man. Like, it's not like they're really even going off. It's just everybody's just performing to the level and just overwhelming the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I didn't finish last night's game, but when I turned, I mean, I did see Ja get hurt. The Grizzlies were up about 20 going into the fourth, I want to say, and then I turned back and they lost the game. I'm like, damn. So I don't know
Yeah.
what happened, but
So when Ja got hurt, they were up 26 points. By the end of the fourth, I'm pretty sure OKC cut the lead to 9, and then after that, it was over. I mean, they pretty much won the game by the 4 or 5 minute mark of the fourth quarter. So, I mean, look, I it's so weird. Like, I was surprised that Memphis was up by damn near 30 points. I was like, wow, okay, they're trying hard. I'll admit I was watching the Clippers and the Nuggets. I was like, I don't give a damn about this game, like, Thunder and 4. But something made me turn to it. I saw Ja get hurt, and I was like, ooh, it's over. It's over for Memphis.
he stay get hurt on like those type of plays too, trying to dunk or like acrobatic layups. Like it's very
Yeah.
unfortunate because he's so exciting like when he's doing these
Mhm.
things, but every time he do it, he get hurt, or almost every time. So it's like he keeps saying he's not going to dunk no more, and then he keeps trying to dunk and get hurt.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he's on the same level as Trey at this point. Like who's really, which is crazy because this man was like an MVP candidate like 2-3 years ago. The
Yeah.
Grizzlies I mean, this season they've been flirting with the 2-3 seed most of the year and then fell all the way out, like bottomed out. I don't really know. I don't know if it's a culture thing at this point.
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins was a great coach.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of holding them together and making them actually like very competitive like this. So with that said, I don't really see any other option than to, some major pivots. It does seem like, kind of seems like the Grizzlies management is kind of sick of Josh shit. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they do shop him. It's just, I don't know if teams are, hurting for Ja Morant, like to give them anything of real value.
Which is crazy. It's kind of crazy because, like you said, like you can see the talent, but are you going to want to deal with all the other shit? Like he obviously, he had the gun stuff, and this year, throughout his celebration antics, he's doing the gun stuff. He gets a talking to and a fine by the league, and then he starts throwing grenades. It's just like,
rocket
come on,
launchers
man.
next.
Yeah, like come
bow
on,
and arrow,
bro.
like just do everything.
Like, yeah, like is this nigga trying to call in a UAV? Like, please.
You seen the memes of Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Pick a weapon wheel.
Yeah, like come on, Ja. It's funny. It's funny for laughs, but like as an actual NBA player, what are you doing? To me, he's actually begging to be traded, which I believe he will in this offseason. But anyway, yeah, Thunder and 4. There's really not much to break down here, in my opinion. Let's talk about the 1-8 in Cleveland and Miami. This is another interesting series for me. I don't think that this series is going to go the way everybody thinks it is. A lot of people
closer than what it looks.
Yeah, well, look, a lot of people thought that the Cavs would absolutely dominate the Heat, and look, in spurts they've won both of these games by I believe double digits, but I don't know, man. For some reason, I feel like Miami's going to win games 3 and 4 in Miami coming up.
Oh, really?
And we're going to have a series. Yeah, I really do. Like I mean, call it respect, I guess. Like Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. Tyler Hero has been kind of having his way, even though he's been getting attacked this entire series, but verbally and on the court. Like Darius Garland has like literally called him out. Like, yeah, like our game plan is to attack Tyler Hero. Evan Mobley just won Defensive Player of the Year last night, so that's great for him. But Donovan Mitchell, man, he's the guy. He completely took over in Game 2 in the fourth quarter. I think he made like 6 or maybe 4 or 5 straight jumpers and just like won the game for the Cavs because it was looking shaky there for a second. But yeah, these Cleveland Cavaliers don't have as easy of a path to the NBA Finals as it looks like the Thunder may have, at least in the first round anyway. Because in the second round, who knows? But yeah, I don't see this being a sweep at all. I think Miami's going to win these next 2 games in Miami. What do you think?
I don't agree, man. I pretty much see it being a sweep. Yeah.
Wow.
A win is a win, and the Cavs just keep having like, what is the Heat doing to really slow the Cavs down? I mean, it's 4 or 5 guys getting 20 every night. Ty Jerome, Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. It's just like, whereas the Heat are kind of how they do. They're just random guys are or performer for him. But
yeah,
I
Davion
just feel
Mitchell.
like well, yeah, he's actually been a factor for them all year, at least defensively. I just feel like the Cavs are a deeper team, and it's just gonna prove out.
Yeah.
The Heat might get a game or two, but I see this being over in 4 or 5. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah. I'm not saying the Cavs are going to lose this series by any stretch of the imagination.
If this had been like the Heat with Jimmy Butler, yeah, I look at them differently. But I just don't look at the Heat quite the same without having no kind of star for real. Tyler Hero is still growing into that, and Adebayo is not a scorer.
Okay. Let's move to
he's been scoring good, but yeah.
The 2-7 in the West. This is a really juicy series, or at least it was until Jimmy Butler got hurt in this last game. So to me, I've stated numerous times that the Houston Rockets don't have a chance in hell in winning a series. And I think there's a team in the East that are essentially their mirror.
A lot of people say that. I don't know, man. I haven't quite felt that way, but
yeah. Okay. I mean, but now all bets are off because Jimmy Butler is either not going to be available or he's going to be hobbled. And this Warriors team without Jimmy Butler is as mediocre as it gets. Steph can drop 50 and they can still lose by 20. Even to this Rockets team, which through the first two games, it's just been exciting to watch, man. Sengun has just been absolutely balling, just beasting in the paint, which he should. He has the advantage. Jalen Green didn't play well in game one, but obviously he exploded in game two with 38 points. But in game one, which in Houston, I expected the Warriors to win in game one. I expected them to win this series. But now with Jimmy Butler's status in question, man, I have no faith in this Warriors team. And it looks like the Rockets are going to the second round. Obviously Jimmy has played on things before, but this kind of injury, I just don't know what I'm going to get from Jimmy Butler. So I'm officially changing my pick. The Houston Rockets will win this series. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was interesting about the Rockets. I was when looking at this series, I thought that they could win even with everybody healthy. Well, going into it because Steph wasn't healthy. Steph was kind of banged up, dealing with a back, like a lower back thing, a wrist thing or something. And like he just, you need this guy to be able to pump out 30 every night. So I was like, if he's hobbled, that's a lot to ask for Jimmy and Pods and all those guys to pick up the slack. And then, I was just wondering for the Rockets side, where are the points actually going to come from? Because I feel like you could rely on Sengun to give you 20 or so, but like anybody else is like a wild card. So that was the issue. But at least they have a lot of guys that can contribute.
Yeah.
And after game one, I was concerned. I was like, oh, hell. Like, Jalen Green gave him nothing. Eamon Thompson just out there gooning and nobody else is really doing anything. It's like, it's a bad look. And they weren't able to slow down Jimmy.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like you said, now that Jimmy's out for who knows how long, at least probably a game or two, possibly. He's a tough guy, but even if he is out there hobbled, that's a big detriment because the Warriors actually need him to score. You look at the last game, like you said, Steph could get you 50 and nobody else give you nothing. Well, Steph only gave you 20 and nobody else stepped up at all. I mean, so
yeah.
They can definitely lose the series. Go ahead.
What do you think about the Jonathan Kuminga situation? Because Steve Kerr has gone on record saying that he can't play him and Jimmy together because it just does not work. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's unfortunate they didn't really have a lot of time in the season to let that play out more. But yeah. I understand. Jimmy is kind of like a better Kuminga as far as like stylistically and what they provide on the floor. You don't really want to waste possessions with Kuminga dribbling the ball out and taking fadeaways or something crazy. When you rather just go to Jimmy or Steph.
Yeah.
So I get that. Kuminga, it's unfortunate, just feels he can't take this any other way than like basically they don't
disrespect.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be a restricted free agent this summer. I don't know what his market's going to be like, but I'm sure he's hoping that he could go to somewhere else that he could spread his wings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see it being tenable any longer in Golden State. Jimmy's got his 2-year extension. So, good luck to him. Hopefully he's able to move on. I'm sure the Warriors kind of feel the same. They probably just want some value out of that contract.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, look, at this point, he has to play. I mean, if Jimmy Butler's going to be out.
Jimmy doesn't play. Yeah, I was about to say, otherwise, I don't know about that.
Yeah. And we just got an update from Shams via Twitter that Ja's going to be out for Game 4. So, yeah, the Grizzlies are cooked. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Like I said, I completely changed my stance. If Jimmy Butler is hobbled or if he's out, give me the Rockets, which is interesting because hopefully the Lakers will be facing him in the next series, and the Rockets are going to be a bit of a problem for us. I mean, just like they're a problem for anyone, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's talk about our Lakers, man. The 3-6 matchup, Lakers versus the Timberwolves. Currently, the series is tied 1-1 as we record this pod. They are going to play later tonight at 9:30. Game 3 in Minnesota. Minnesota's going to have a lot of energy. I don't know. This has been a really weird series where it feels like we haven't really played well in either one of the games. Like in game 1, we had literally no energy. We
Outside of
just
Luka.
outside of Luka. But even he dwindled down towards the end, which kind of similar in game 2. Like he came out firing 16 points in the first quarter, and he finished the game at 31, I believe. Him and Brown were both pretty awful in the fourth quarter. We were just up by so many points that it just kind of didn't matter. I mean, I guess there was a point where we all kind of like, oh, here we go. And speaking of Bron has not been good in either one of these games. I think that his energy level was really good in game 2, especially defensively, but I don't think that he's gotten into a rhythm yet offensively. And Austin Reeves, man, look, I'm willing to give Austin Reeves a pass in this series only because he's being guarded by probably their best perimeter defender in Anthony Edwards, where I don't know if many other teams are going to have an Anthony Edwards to throw at both Luka and Bron and AR, where it's just like Minnesota just kind of does, except Houston. And Houston's going to have Dylan Brooks and, Amin Thompson and all those guys. But I guess we have to figure that out because Austin Reeves needs to be really good for us to be successful. On the flip side, though, Anthony Edwards hasn't been really spectacular in any of the games either. So that's good for us. I guess, our game plan of just getting the ball out of his hands and making him a distributor is kind of paying off because we are absolutely sending two. But yeah, this has been a really weird series, man. A really weird series. Like even the Rudy Gobert, Luka thing, it's just like it's not really working. Like I guess it works in spurts, but I think the stat was in game 1 or game 2, like he I think it was 5 or 17 on Gobert switches, which is, I mean, that's pretty good. Like I'll take a guy shooting 5 or 17 over me. So yeah, I mean, give me your thoughts. And I talked a lot. Sorry, give me your thoughts on what you've seen, what you expect going into game 3 tonight.
Yeah, so going into the series, a lot of Laker fans saying Lakers in 5. Of course, that's the joke. That's what we on now. But I can't lie, I was a little like, man, the Wolves might be a tough matchup for us just because they got the size, the athleticism. McDaniels and those guys always guard LeBron really well. He kind of struggles with them. Before the Luka trade, and before the Cat trade, like Cat and Randall actually both just seem to play well against AD, these Kentucky guys. I don't know what it is. So the Wolves are always a tricky matchup for us. Now it's interesting because Luka doesn't seem like he's affected by anything that the Wolves are doing. He's
not
pretty
at all.
much, I mean, outside of him getting fatigued in the fourth quarters and stuff, but I chalked it up to, fatigue, and also he especially game 2, he's putting a lot of effort in defensively. He is. He's not ever going to be a stopper, but he's actually like, he's forcing guys to make a couple moves at least before they get past him, or if they get past him. I feel like LeBron in game 2, like you mentioned, he was defending really well. Maybe, that's also why he doesn't have his legs for his shot. He doesn't quite have his rhythm because he's almost having to be that Draymond type of role where he's the defensive captain and all that, and showing that activity, his leadership on that end. It might be too much to ask from him to lead the defense and also give us 25, but we kind of need it, to get a comfortable, to actually win a championship. That's probably going to be the formula. He's probably got to play that role. As for Austin Reeves, I mean, I feel like only Luka's the only guy making threes. And Austin, I believe, was like 0-7, 0-6 in the last game. He hasn't really been able to hit his three-pointer. And that's huge for him. Like that opens up his drive game. Teams got to play up tighter on him. The threat of the step back. So, despite him not able to make an outside shot, I think he rallied to get like 16 points. I think he made all his twos and his layups. He still was a factor. But we need Austin because, if Luka is carrying the offense most of the game, LeBron is, I don't say carrying the defense, but is captaining the defense. Austin's role, we need him to be that closer and to kind of be that secondary scorer. So it's not quite working great for us right now offensively because he's in a rut. So we do need him to get it going. As well as just, I feel like the Lakers are a little overdue for like a game where we hit our threes. Minnesota hit all their threes in game 1. Game 2, they missed all their threes. I chalked it up to defense, hopefully, but because game 1 there was a lot of open shots. Game 2 we were playing a little tighter. Game 3 and game 4 we're shifting back to Minnesota. They've had a great home crowd the last couple of years.
Yep.
But we've got some battle-tested players at this point that I feel like should be able to come through in the road. I'm not really worried about it. We got to get one back to try to steal home court advantage, preferably game 3 so we could be more comfortable in game 4. But, I'm just interested to see what happens, how it plays out, because I feel like it's just coming down to this series. We're almost to that point now where there's not really many more adjustments can be made, I think, especially on the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers really have many more adjustments we could do. And I don't think the Timberwolves really want to do anything else. So, I think it's just going to come down to who's playing better, who's making shots, who's got the dog in them. So,
I 2 points. One, I completely agree with what you said about Luka. Like J.D. McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it don't matter. Like Luka is cooking whoever's in front of him, which is great to see from like our number one option. Like the dude is fucking unstoppable. And to me, even though the numbers don't show it, whenever he gets a Gobert switch, it feels like he's scoring almost every time.
Yeah, it's interesting. The numbers are showing that because I'm like, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it every time Luka gets the switch. And AR was dribbling past him too. It's LeBron really's not doing much with his switches, but
the other point is, I think a big part of this series in particular is going to be if Rui, Gabe, and Dorian Finney-Smith are going to hit their threes or not. It seems to be like the indicator of if we win or lose. Like when those 3 guys are hitting their threes, we're kind of unstoppable, which is crazy. like we're kind of unstoppable, but as soon as they start throwing up bricks or they're just not getting the shots, then all of a sudden the game is just hard for us and we can barely get 100 points. It's really weird. We have this dynamic where we can pretty much bank on that Luka's going to drop 30 every night, and he's going to kind of make it look easy. He's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to hit step back threes. Like we can kind of pencil that in. But the problem now is that we don't know where the rest of the points are coming from every night. And hopefully Bron and AR both play better in Minnesota. I mean, look, both of them are big game players. Austin Reeves has shown that he knows how to step his game up in the playoffs. Obviously, I mean, we don't have to talk about what Bron does. I mean, it's fucking LeBron James, but he is 40. He's 40. And he's coming up there groin injury, and the reporters are asking him every goddamn day, how's your groin? And you can tell he's getting pissed off by it. He's like, I'm playing. I'm available to play, but
can I see it? Can I see it?
Right. Yeah. My leash, please.
Show me the royal.
But yeah, Minnesota is a tough opponent, man. They're actually really good and really deep. Fucking Nas Reed. I don't know what we did to this nigga, but he loves to hoop on us. So yeah, let's see what happens in game 3. Game 3's tonight. Hopefully we win.
He lost his mind and got 3 or 4 fouls in the first half last game.
Yeah. Good. Get him out the game, please. Let's talk about the Celtics and the Orlando Magic. Another interesting. I think it's more interesting now because of all the injuries. Like, obviously, going into the series, I would have said Celtics in 4. And look, it still may end up being that way. But as the series shifts to Orlando for games 3 and 4, with Jason Tatum missing game 2 with a wrist injury, he's doubtful for game 3 in Orlando. All of a sudden, Jaylen Brown is questionable with his knee injury that he's had to get shots in. The Celtics are finding out.
The playoffs hobble, right?
Yeah. The Celtics are finding out how hard it is to repeat, man, and like how lucky some of these teams are because, once you do it once, playing that long into June, to do it again, it just takes a lot of luck. Like it just takes a lot of luck and healthiness. Like LeBron went to the finals 8 or 10 straight times or some ridiculous shit like that.
Yeah, I want to say 9 straight.
Yeah, and it's just like that. That's just insane. Like I don't know if we'll ever see that again because that's just a combination of obviously just high talent from LeBron, but just like luck that he was able to be mostly healthy throughout all of that. Obviously, we had Kyrie go down in the finals and Kevin Love with the shoulder thing, but it's crazy. And I'm not trying to say that the Celtics are going to lose to the Orlando Magic. I'm just saying that this series is very interesting.
No.
They cannot stop Paolo Banchero, and if they don't have Tatum or Jaylen Brown for Game 3 in Orlando, Celtics in 6, I guess. But I think
you don't want these things to stretch out.
Yeah,
exactly. You don't want these things to stretch out longer. Some of your veterans got to play longer minutes. There's more chance of somebody get hurt. It's not like there's anything they're doing. It's just luck, like you said. It's the playoffs are like a war of attrition. It's almost like somebody's going to get hurt, or you bank on somebody's probably going to get hurt. But like, how can you survive it, or survive playing through injuries?
Yep.
And just thoughts on the series. I mean, it's a little closer than what people thought. I mean,
I agree.
The games are, by the end of the game, the Celtics have been pulling away. But, on one hand, Orlando, I think this is the first time this group has actually made the playoffs. I think so.
They were there last year. They lost
okay.
in 7 to the Cavs in round 1 last year.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say I think this is just good stepping stone for them, but. Maybe, if you put that into context, if they made it already, I forgot about that. The way they started the season, they start off top 3 seed or something like that, and had a couple injuries and just weren't able to hold it much at all. You just feel like there's something there, but I don't really know what is missing. Is it?
I know.
Suggs?
Yep. Jalen Suggs. Hey, pick up that phone, Hawks. Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac. 2 first-round picks, and filler. Make it happen. Get Trae Young in Orlando, please.
They could use some offense for sure, but
but
what I was saying is because Suggs was like their defensive identity, isn't he? Out?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but this year he was really coming on as an offensive player too. Like he was hooping. But the fact is, like, Orlando is just struggling so hard to score when the ball is not in Paolo or Franz's hands. And they can't play 48, even though they're trying. I'm pretty sure they're playing like 40 and 42 minutes in the playoffs, which that's cool. But like that, I don't know. Both of them work so hard to score. Like they work so hard.
I've been impressed with Paolo's development as a playmaker too. Like that wasn't always in his bag by any means when he first came into the scene. So I mean, it's tough, man. Like you need a point guard.
Yep. Need somebody to help you get easy baskets, especially in the playoffs. And I don't know, trade Orlando. Let's think about it.
John Morant.
No, I won't want that. Do we? Nah. Knicks and the Pistons, man. Another just banger series. This has just been so fun. I thought so. Coming into this series, I didn't give the Pistons a chance to win the series because to me, they're kind of like the East Coast or Houston, like. They're so young. Like their best players are like fucking 22 years old, and
they just lost like 20 something in a row last year. Now they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, NBA record. Yeah. And look, Cade Cunningham is absolutely fantastic, man. I can't believe I traded him in fantasy. Somehow still won, but Cade Cunningham had a crazy season. He should be first team All NBA. Jalen Duren just picked it up in the last few minutes. Isaiah Stewart, but you just don't see these young teams come in and just take over the league in the playoffs like that. You just don't see it, especially not in their first year. It's funny. Like I remember I think it was 2009 or 10 when we played Oklahoma City. And I was just like, holy shit, like these young niggas are good, but I'm so glad that we're playing them now. Like I'm glad they were playing them now.
I think they took us to 7, right?
It was 6. We beat them in 6. Powell had like a game winner to finish them off in 6. But the thing about it is like a year or two later they swept us. Like they owned us. I was like, well, hey, at least we got them out the way early.
Before they blew up, before they became who they supposed to be.
And like this is kind of how I feel about Detroit and Houston. Like I feel like a really big storm is coming for like both of these franchises. Like I think they have really good pieces. I think they have like really high level players. But it's just too soon for them to win right now, in my opinion. So maybe lean the Knicks, but yeah,
the Thunder had KD, bro. Like the Rockets don't got nobody like that.
His name is Amin Thompson.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I could see him being a star, but not on a consensus top 20 all time like Kevin Durant. I don't see that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
You
you're
see
right.
that? You see that for Evan Thompson?
No, I'm not going to be crazy and say that because Kevin Durant came out the gate looking like that. I'm not going to say that.
Saying. Well, yeah,
But
okay.
I'm saying that Amin Thompson is what 21, maybe 22, and he has room to grow. And this summer, I'm expecting him and his brother to get in the fucking gym and learn how to shoot. And because once they learn how to shoot even a little bit, I mean, it's over. It's over for the league, bro. So
You know who I see for Evan Thompson, and don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed. Jimmy Butler.
I mean, hey, Jimmy Butler,
Okay.
led his team to the finals. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
I could see it because Jimmy Butler was like a 3-and-D guy for like the first 3 or 4 years of his career, and all of a sudden, like he just started developing, and became an all-star once Derrick Rose got hurt and stuff.
yeah.
But I could see that for Evan Thompson. I don't know about the other one. Was it Amir? Asar, yeah. I don't. He hasn't really shown anything like that to project stardom. I could see him being an impact player for sure, but he already is an impact player. But like Evan Thompson, I could see him developing enough sauce in his game to get around 20 points per game and like 8 rebounds, 6 assists, something like that, two steals, 2 blocks. I could see that like just off of like hustle stats. This generation, Sean Marion, like just stuff like that. But I don't see him like being a number 1 option. No,
that's disrespect. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not, and look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, I literally think Amin Thompson could be an MVP, number 1, lead your team to the NBA. Like, I see it, bro. I see the talent in this kid now. Now, if I'm wrong and he never develops his game, fine. But I'm saying like he has everything to be a really, really good player, in my opinion. Anyway, Knicks and Pistons, really back and forth series, really down, rugged, and dirty series. Give me your thoughts.
The Pistons fumbled it at least 2 times already. Like they should probably be up. They've had their chances. They should probably be up 2-1, maybe even 3-0. But here they are down 1-2, and a young team. Again, a lot of times history shows when you are a young team, your first time in the playoffs, you're gonna take your lumps. Especially if you don't have, especially if it's not like something that that completely warped the season. Like you got a superstar traded to your team or something like that. Just organic growth like this, you want them to fight hard. Have their head held high and say it was a good season. So at this point, I think they're already there. I think they'd be, just give a Knicks a run for their money, and they could be proud about going into next season. The thing about the Pistons though is that they rely so much on these veterans that I don't know how much of this can be replicated next year. Is Malik Beasley going to have another career year? Like he was like their second best player. Tobias Harris playing really well for them. Yeah. I feel like
Schroeder?
Tim Hardaway Jr., Schroeder. Yep. Yeah, so it's a lot of these veterans that are really driving their winning. But give a lot of credit to Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duran, Asar Thompson, those guys. But they've got the bones. But I don't know. I don't know if this is guaranteed they're going to be right back here next year. Because some of those veterans are probably going to have a bad year or get traded or sign somewhere else.
Yeah. So you lean the New York Knicks in this series, like everybody else?
Yes. I'd say at this point, Knicks are probably going to be winning 5 or 6.
Wow.
The Knicks need to stop playing though, because they need to win this as soon as they can. So they, Tibbs play these guys 40-something minutes, and Jalen Brunson keep getting his ankle sprained. Like, they need to stop messing around and put them down ASAP. Because I feel like the Knicks, if they get it together, they could actually compete with some, the Boston Celtics or the Cavaliers in the playoff series. I don't know. I'd still pick the other teams, but we need the Knicks to be foils. We need them to actually be as full as they can to give them a good run for their money going forward.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is a really tough series. The Knicks are, like you said, barely skating by. They're really just taking advantage of the fact that Detroit is young and dumb, and they're just going to continue to make mistakes, which they have done. But yeah, I mean, look, obviously, I think the Knicks are going to win this series. I think top to bottom, they have more talent. They have more veteran tested players. Excuse me. I mean, and Jalen Brunson, man, this dude, clutch player of the year, by the way, which is a ridiculous award to make up. But Yeah, Jalen Brunson, like in especially in game 3 in particular, he just took their hearts away. Like he just scored 3 straight layups. Like they just couldn't do nothing about it. Like just go left, layup, go left, layup, and yeah, that's been the difference of the series.
What do you think about the criticisms of his game? Like he's basically getting called the flop master lately, and
I think it's
all these cheap tactics.
He is. He's. I mean, he does the same shit that SGA does. And SGA got killed for it all year, so it's time for Brunson to share the spotlight because
Prime Harden.
Yeah, like this nigga be foul baiting like crazy. But hey, man, it's working. So you know, if the refs are going to allow him to get away with it, then he should absolutely abuse the rule. So yeah. What are we not? Oh, Pacers and Bucks. How can I forget? Another interesting series where people are hammering the Bucks. Like people are like, yo, the Bucks are gonna win this series. Series shifted to Milwaukee.
Really,
I got Milwaukee. Pacers. No, to me, it's evident. Like, bro, like I don't care if Dame was fully healthy. Like, give me the Pacers. Like, the Bucks are not a good team, and like I don't know what more you have to see in order for you to believe that. Like, as a viewer, like they're not a good team, and the Pacers are just running them out of the gym in every single one of these games.
They really are. Yeah, they're just treating them like they old. Just running
off the court. Pascal Siakam is looking like 2019 Siakam. Like he's averaging like 25 a game on them.
Dancing and spinning all around these guys.
They got one move. And they're killing him, boy. Killing him with that little spin. Tyrese Halliburton is getting his assists, and you know, all Andrew Nembhard and Neesmith and Miles Turner and Benedict Mathurin. Like the Pacers are finally playing like that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're playing fast. They're playing with pace. They've stopped all the Pascal Siakam post-ups, and they're just running and gunning, which to me is the best way for this iteration of the Indiana Pacers. Like, stop trying to slow them down and let's speed them up, actually. And I'm going to say it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks get swept. This is not a good team. Giannis, in and of himself, he's a great player. Like he's averaging, numbers. He's averaging damn near 40. Yeah. But it's not enough, bro. It's like not 40, enough.
15. It's not like he's just laying down. Like it's
crazy. He's trying his damnedest, and he's ducking all over them, making them look small. Cool, man. You're down 12. Check ball. Like you're down, bro.
We're gonna hit this 3 in y'all face, and it is what it is.
Yeah. We would continue to trade these 3s for 2s. I promise. And look, I give the Milwaukee Bucks no hope in this series. Pacers in 4. Based on what I've seen. What do you think?
It's pretty tragic what's happening to the Bucks. I mean, with the Dame Lillard, DDT, though he's able to come back. I'm worried about the man. I don't think I heard nobody coming back.
They definitely threw him out there and said, "Look, nigga, we need to win, or Giannis leaving." So
it is what it seemed like. He was like, look, you got to play. Like, he's like, look, just take these blood thinners, and it is what it is, brother.
Yeah,
you got to play.
Yeah.
Like
we'll say that you're off the blood thinners, but sure.
Yeah. And predictably, he's looking like someone who hasn't played in a month or two, and
for sure,
it's tough sledding coming back in the middle of the playoffs, trying to get your rhythm and shape, all that together. Yeah, they're in a tough spot, man. They're just so old, and again, just similar to a lot of these other teams, they don't have their picks. They don't really have a lot of moves they can make.
They're capped out.
They're capped out.
I don't think they can do anything. Like they don't own their pick for like the next 4 or 5 years.
So, needless to say, the vultures are swirling around the Bucks.
Rob Pelinka.
And people are wondering what does Giannis think about this predicament?
Yeah,
he's 31, I believe.
He is 30 years old.
Okay, so clock is ticking. You only got. He said he wants to win at least another championship. He sounds like he's almost open to the idea that he may have to go somewhere else. He's talked about he likes a lot of these international stars being in the big markets. Luka being in LA, maybe Jokic go to New York, whatever he said, something like that. Maybe he wants a big market. I honestly, I feel bad for the Bucks fans because you want a guy who's been around for 10 years, won a championship, won all these awards. You kind of hope he could ride it out, but for Giannis's sake, I don't really see why he would, or like what would be keeping him there other than just blind loyalty, going the Dirk route. But
yeah, I mean, look, he two MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA championship, Finals MVP. Like his resume speaks for itself. But it's him saying that he wants more. Like he wants to win another one. And I don't know. Like I think that speaks volume for him. And I can't wait for him to be in the Lakers. So
it would be sick. Like, yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. Well, but what would the Lakers? What could the Lakers actually trade for Giannis?
LeBron James? Trade that nigga, please.
Well,
trade LeBron and Bronny.
He's got a no trade contract. So.
Yeah. All right. He ain't going to Milwaukee.
I don't think Austin Reeves is going to be enough to do it. But hey, you know, Rob Pelinka's he's made
he's a wizard.
He's made magic out of yarn before or whatever. Make gold out of string.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob.
Take him for lunch. Take him for coffee, Rob. See what it do.
Yeah. So let's say Pacers info.
Damn, you don't think the Bucks gonna get a game?
No, I don't. I don't think they're gonna get a game. Giannis might drop 50 tonight.
Let's say Giannis gonna get 50 or 60 on them and will them to one win.
No, they're down by 9. It's over. Nope, I don't think so.
Kyle Kuzma finally gonna hit a couple shots. I think he's. He had 0 stats in the first game. I don't see if he improved on that in the second one.
He did, but it didn't matter, as you can see. I think we only have one series left, which is the Nuggets,
the Clippers, and
Nuggets and the Clippers. Yeah, this is the best one. I'm going to be completely honest. Just like just because I hate the Denver Nuggets and I just love to see them lose. I picked the Clippers in 5 before the series, like as a hater, but I didn't think that it would actually come to pass. But like the Nuggets are in trouble. They are in some real trouble here because one is James Harden. First of all, both of us have been huge James Harden haters on this pod. Rightfully so, mind you. Rightfully so. Because
at least a decade.
Yeah, like rightfully so. But in these 3 games against the Denver Nuggets, he has been hooping. The Nuggets just have no hope regarding him. And then there's Kawhi fucking Leonard, who's this dude just want to shoot 80% and just dominate the game. Give me your thoughts, man.
Zubac is kind
playing
of canceling
1-on-1.
out. Yeah, canceling out Jokic slick. Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't expect this. I did expect the Clippers. I think I had the Clippers. They had the Clippers in 6 or 7. I thought this was going to go 7, honestly, but. Man, the Nuggets look like they just have nothing for these guys, and now they're banged up. I believe, right?
Michael Porter Jr. is hurt. Russell Westbrook is hurt.
Got this shoulder thing. Yeah, man. And Jamal Murray came in kind of banged up. Didn't he have a ankle or calf or something?
Yeah, his calf injury. Yeah.
It doesn't look like, and they just fired the coach like 4 games left into the season.
Shout out to Mike Malone.
Doesn't look like this is in the cards for the Nuggets.
It's interesting because the Nuggets are kind of, the Clippers are kind of defending Jokic in a way, which I'm not sure that I would have like loved if I was like the Lakers. I'd say they're basically daring him to beat Zoo 101 on in the paint. Like they're just not doubling him in the paint. Which
isn't that what you were asking for with the AD era? You kind of want that instead of doubling him.
Yeah. So which I love, but. What I've seen is that on the perimeter, when Jokic gets the ball, they're trapping him and forcing him to give up the ball, which I don't love because obviously, like you can see, like his assist numbers are very high, but what that's creating is is really creating the Nuggets getting layups instead of threes, which is interesting because. If we double him in the paint, he has no choice but to pass the ball out for a 3-pointer. Yeah. Whereas it's almost like the inverse is almost happening. Where like they're doubling him on the perimeter and they're forcing him to pass it in to an Aaron Gordon or Christian Braun or whoever, and they are daring Russell Westbrook and anybody else to make a 3 aside from Michael Porter Jr. And it's just not working.
This is Westbrook's first bad game in Game 3, but the first 2 games he was making shots. Yeah.
He barely played in this one. He didn't play the second half. I think he left in the first or second quarter with his foot injury. Yeah. So I mean, whatever. But yeah, in Game 1 and Game 2, he was hitting shots, but he was also just being insane. It's just the joke about Westbrook is like he's like a Mario Kart item. Like I heard that.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So it's interesting, man. Yeah, I am so here for the Nuggets downfall. I can't wait for them to lose in the first round and trade us Joker. Yes, we're getting everybody, by the way.
We're going to get Joker. We're going to get Giannis.
Yep.
Javar and fuck it. Nah, you stay over there. You can stay over there. Too much trouble. We'll take Trey.
You and your guns, please. No. Yeah, man. It's just such an interesting development. This is an interesting matchup. Some of these second round matchups are going to be very interesting if they play out how I would like them to. But yeah,
I feel like the Clippers can beat the Thunder.
I do. I really do. Look, the Clippers are the hottest team in the league right now. Like these dudes are rolling. I mean, low key.
Kind of interesting because the Lakers beat them up. Like they weren't kind of no problem.
Well, that was when we had AD, wasn't it? That wasn't with Luka.
No, it was before Luka, but after AD. It was like before Luka started playing.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, actually, no. Luka did play. That was the one of the games. Luka did play the second game because I remember we were scared that Zubac was going to kill us, but we kind of did the Jokic defense and just doubled him.
Trapped him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think in a potential OKC and Clippers series, I think that and first of all, I don't want to completely discount the Nuggets because we've seen them quote unquote down and out before, and they've battled. Literally, they have come back from down 3-1 to this Clippers team, even though Kawhi was not playing. But
what is the formula though? Like I don't know what the Nuggets can do. I mean,
yeah,
because Murray is getting hounded by Chris Dunn and those guys that like, and they found a good plan to trap Jokic. There's no other third scorer or someone who can help relieve the pressure for the Nuggets, especially with Michael Porter banged up.
Yeah, so it's got to be Gordon, I guess.
They're only 6 or 7 deep. Now, when Westbrook banged up too, he's a wild card. Maybe he could get you 20 in a triple double or something, and But I think man, it's crazy to say. I think they might be toast, bro. I think they might lose in 5. I don't really see what else they can do, especially with their injuries.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would love for you to be right.
I wanted this to be a long series, but since the Thunder series is so short, maybe it's best the Clippers get them out the way and rest.
Both of y'all get y'all rest.
Yeah.
And Kawhi, stay healthy, please, because that semifinal series is going to be great to see. If that's what actually happens, but who knows? Look, next time we speak, we may be talking about the Nuggets and the Thunder. We don't want to count out the Denver Nuggets, or do we? Look, man, thank you so much. Great pod. Touched on everything. We'll be back very shortly. The NBA playoffs are underway. God damn.
Whoa.
Almost died. Like the video.
Cut that footage.
Like the video. Comment down below. Subscribe to the pod. Thank you.